and brother and sister in the Dhamma. Good evening and Happy New Year again. So this is the 4th day of the new year. Bhante Chandima is already third times visit to Langkawi. I believe most of us, we already know Bhante Chandima. So thank you Bhante Chandima for coming to Langkawi and do the Dhamma sharings and also guide us in the meditations. For today, I actually set this topic, which is the Buddhist perspective or reflections on caring for our Mother Earth. Because our Mother Earth is someone we always take for granted, but maybe we just take it for granted. We don't have any gratitude or anything, and we keep harming our Mother Earth. So what is the Buddhist perspective in terms of taking care of our Mother Earth? So I would like to invite Bhante to do the sharing on these topics, and we have the environmental specialist over here. So he is very interested in this topic as well, and that's why he's coming today. Okay, Bhante.
Let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let us pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, Dhamma friends. As Brother CJ informed, today I will be speaking about the Buddhist teachings. I think better.
Okay, is that okay?
No, this one too. Yes, better I think.
Yeah.
It's good. Buddhist teachings about the environment. Okay, I think this is a very interesting topic, but we have to talk it in a practical way because there are different aspects of this topic. Buddhist reflections on caring for earth, Dhamma-based responses to the environmental crisis. So don't worry, I can share all the slides later with everyone. So you will have a PDF file of all these slides. But now give more attention to the subject. So you will be able to know a lot of aspects about Buddhism with regard to environment, and what did the Buddha discuss about environment, and how can we think about, how can we learn about what to do with regard to protecting the environment. Okay. Now first of all, I would like to discuss why is this topic important, why this matters. You know, environmental crisis is a moral and spiritual issue. Most people might think that it is not a spiritual issue. Why? It is an issue that is happening in a country, in a city, where there are certain new developments happening. So what is the problem with regard to my spiritual practice? But if you look at the Buddhist teachings, which we will discuss in this talk, you will understand that no, it is not only a environmental crisis itself, it is also a moral and spiritual issue which affect our Dhamma path. What are the main issues that we are going through in today's world? Climate change, pollution, different types of pollution, and loss of biodiversity, right? Sometimes governments are going through issues. Should we choose economy over environment, or should we choose environment over economy? It is a dilemma for them. In Canada, some long time ago, there's a big debate going for any upcoming government, because they want to make a what you call pipeline, because Canadian oil is sandy oil, so they need to transport that oil to US to refine, and then Canada is buying again from the US for a higher price, because they don't have the technology, and also they have it, they cannot do it with Canadian standards. It costs a lot. It's like you buying a very comfortable bed linen or a towel made in Canada for the Canadian standards in a Canadian store versus buying a pure Canadian towel, which is so expensive, right? I think we know the argument, the rationality behind that. So anyway, what happened? So when the pipeline discussion is coming up all the time, what government is thinking for the most time that they have to do it, because when they do it, they have long-term benefits. Sometimes they were thinking to transport extra oil out of the country through a pipeline. But the country's Aboriginal, we call it First Nations, they don't like it, because when you make the pipeline, you have to go through their lands, native lands, and they will not like it. So I think every government more or less go through similar issues in any country, right? So what to do? Can we balance out environment and economy, or can we choose one or the other? It's a very challenging question, but governments have to answer. But do we also have a responsibility with regard to what they are doing? Because we are the people who are voting for governments based on the policies, right? Anyways, so these are the main challenges that we see with regard to environment. And human suffering, dukkha, that we are going through in our life is inseparable from ecological suffering. Why is it? Sometimes we wonder all these issues with regard to climate change, pollution, loss of biodiversity may have come from human craving for more, wanting more. Now think about, I give you a very simple example. Long time ago, if you go for a shop to buy a bread, lot of bread were made overnight. Huh? They do it in that particular traditional way. They put a little bit of yeast and they let it be fermented, and then the bread will be there. But nowadays, demand is so high for these products, bread and all these pastry products, especially bread. So sometimes even they fill the whole shelf with all the breads, so-called breads. Maybe within a couple of hours all the bread will be gone, because there are so many customers buying. Maybe they are buying extra breads too for a couple of other days. Then what happens? That section, anybody who is responsible for a section, they have to make instant breads. So they put lots of yeast and they have to make instant bread. And when you buy it, when you eat it, you can't even sleep that night. Why? Acidity, reflexity is happening because they are making with too much yeast, right? So the thing is that on their side, it is reasonable for them to make instant bread, instant stuff, because they want to meet the demand, they want the customer base. On the other side, what will happen to the customers? This is one very small example. Think about all the other industries and what they are doing. So I think, as you understand, this human suffering that we go through nowadays, especially health issues and other issues, they are inseparable from the harm which some humans may have done in the form of industries to the environment. So we cannot separate them. So they are what you call inseparable. So Buddhism addresses this issue by looking at the deep-seated problem, right? Root causes, not just the symptoms, right? If you look at Buddhism and how Buddhism addresses any problem in the world, from the early Buddhist suttas, you will see that Buddhism wants to get to the bottom of the problem. Why is it? Why does Buddhism want to get to the bottom of any problem? Why can't Buddhism give a very surface kind of face value answer to that? Why can't they give that idea? Think about, I always remind this idea. There are people who are bribing certain people, and there are people who are happily receiving the bribes. So in theory, both are wrong, right? Both are illegal activities. They have to be cracked down, right? And the discourse about the bribing and receiving, giving and receiving bribing always go around who is giving, who is receiving, they both have to be cracked down. But when Buddhism looks at the problem, Buddhism looks at it in a very different way, getting to the bottom of the problem. Why people are giving bribes? Is the system inefficient? Does it take a longer time for them to process certain things? On the other hand, are the relevant people not adequately paid as a remuneration? Right? Normally we understand in places where individuals are highly paid, they think a little bit more than simply taking the the bribes. So that means Buddhism looks at the conditions of the bribing, not just who gives, who takes. This is the same approach. So the same approach here means Buddhism wants to look at why ecological crisis is related to human suffering, human connections. Right? This is what we look at here. I would like to show you a very interesting Buddha teaching coming in Dhammapada. I think how many of you have learned Dhammapada? What is Dhammapada, may I know?
Collection of short teaching of the Buddha.
Collection of short teachings of the Buddha. Are they new or are they collected from other Nikayas, other texts? Are they new or are they collected from here and there?
No idea.
Huh?
No idea.
Yeah. They are collected. They are not new stuff. So very interesting Pali stanzas from other Nikayas are collected and made a book. The reason why I asked you about this is that, you know, in all the other major Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Catholicism, Hinduism, Islam, Jainism, all these religions present a handbook, right? They call it holy book, right? What are the holy books in other religions, may I know? What is the holy book in Catholic teachings?
Bible.
We call it Holy Bible, not just normal Holy Bible, they say. It's very purified. Then, what about Hinduism?
Bhagavad Gita.
Huh?
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. And Islam?
Quran.
Yeah, Holy Quran, right? Okay. Then Buddhism? That is the interesting question. Dhammapada. So if you haven't read Dhammapada, that means I think you should be embarrassed about it.
You haven't read
Yes.
Holy Bible.
Because you are saying you are Buddhist, you are saying you are Buddhist, you are Theravada, you are so and so, but you never know Dhammapada. I think that's a huge
Humiliation.
you call it. I would say it's a huge loss in your Dhamma journey as of now. Why is it important to read? This is a small section from Dhammapada. There are 423 stanzas and 26 chapters. 26 chapters, 423 stanzas. So we need to read. These chapters are telling us how to take care of our thoughts, how to associate good people, right? Very interesting stanzas. Now you can see this section, one line, appears in Dhammapada verse 283. What does Buddha say? Vanang chindata ma rukkang. Cut down the forest. Can you cover up the thing that is inside the, what do you call those blankets? You understand. Cut down the forest, you might think, Buddha asks us to deforest, cut all the forest. But actually that is not what the Buddha meant here. Buddha said, cut down the forest means, that forest here means unwholesome mental states. Buddha says unwholesome akusala, negative states of mind are similar to a tree with lot of creepers. So we have to cut down that forest. But Buddha says ma rukkang. Rukkam means trees, ma means no. In Pali, no, ma means no, but not the trees. Then the Buddha has a clear idea which he gave to us, saying that never cut the trees. But now we have a problem in today's world. Urban planning, urban designing, city planning, it's a big topic in today's world, right? So cities have to plan the cities, sidewalks, they have to decorate the what you call urban areas. People are walking on those sidewalks. So what if there is a very challenging tree over there? It's almost going to fall down. Now the rain season is almost nearby. Would the city do something for that tree? Will they prune it? Will they prune it? If the situation is very challenging, will they get rid of that tree? They will do whatever necessary. Because if somebody passes away through falling that tree, they will have to be very much responsible. So today's world, we understand there are certain situations that city governments, provincial governments, even federal governments, they may have to manage some of the challenging situations with regard to environment. But overall, they have to protect trees. They have to protect sanctuaries. They have to protect flora and fauna. Not even, actually when we say environment, not only immaterial things, nature, but also animals, right? So it includes both flora and fauna. Okay. Oh, this is a very interesting thing to learn about the Buddha's idea. Earth as a conditioned system. Now I want to bring you to certain Dhamma teachings about environment. Nature operates through cause and effect. Is it true? Is there a cause and effect behind every natural phenomenon? So then let us talk about today. It's a very hot day today, yeah? Here. Also very windy, right? May I know what is the cause of that windy nature today? I think Brother John has a very good understanding about how the sea breeze comes over here and goes back.
It's
right?
like the earth, it turns, as it turns, it moves the northern hemisphere up a bit, so the sun is less. And then the equator and then the line of Capricorn,
yes,
they produce a pressure.
Yes.
So the pressure now is from the north pushing down. So the wind comes from Thailand, north, it comes down to Malaysia.
Yes. See, now when we know the subject, we understand there is a cause. The effect is this windy nature can give us a happy situation or an unhappy situation. Right? Maybe you might say, I cannot walk today. I can get sick very easily, right? Because of so much windy nature today.
But
right?
Is this called niyama as well?
Yeah. Yes. We call it, you can say, utuniyama or bijaniyama. Right? It's a niyama. Because the niyama teaching is not originally early Buddhist. It's a Abhidhamma teaching. It is mentioned in the Abhidhamma, Theravada canon. So anyways, behind every natural thing, there is a cause and effect. Think about animals. Do they have a certain cause behind their appearance? Think about monkeys. You have a lot of monkeys here, right? A lot of monkeys now. So, is there a no? I mean, is there a reason why monkeys are coming to Langkawi? That many monkeys? Why is it?
Reproduce.
Huh?
They reproduce.
Yes, and why monkeys are here? Why monkeys are not in other places? That many monkeys.
Oh, there are many
Langkawi is
monkeys.
still full of forests and trees.
That's why.
There are many.
So the environment needs those kinds of animals. So it coexists.
Yeah.
Environment coexists with certain animals which environment needs.
That's why
And if you
Langkawi, they call it naturally Langkawi.
naturally Langkawi, yes.
So many
And if you go to Perth or any Australian city, what about those venomous snakes? Why is it? Why there are so many venomous snakes in Australia? What's the reason? That nature attracts snakes as predators, maybe crocodiles, even tarantula and all these animals, right? But we don't see that many snakes in other places, right? Maybe there are, but normally not, right? So every country has a reason why certain animals are living in that country, because they want to balance out environment and animal nature. And we also can think about, this is not a very pleasant topic, predator concept. One animal is a predator of another animal. Yes, so it's also a natural thing. So anyway, I want you to think about that. There's a cause and an effect behind all environmental phenomena. Nothing exists independently. We all are creatures of cause and effect. What is your cause and effect? Who gave you to this world? Gave birth to you this world? Your mother and father.
Parents, yeah.
And them, they are mother and father. So we have a reason, right? And then you, when you leave the world, you may have created your own beings, right? So it's all are dependent, not independent. Human actions shape environmental outcome. Yes, when we know how to behave, what to do, how to speak, then we can affect environment positively. So in theory, ecological collapse is similar to karmic consequences, right? When you do something bad to the environment will
come back to you.
give you back. And you see, at that time in ancient India, they were always saying every natural thing is a god.
Yeah.
Wind is a god. They call it Marut. Marut. M-A-R-U-T. And later Indian automobile industry, they made a car called Maruti.
Oh.
Yes, there's a car. Maruti. It comes from Marut.
Windy car.
Yeah, with the car. And then rain, Parjanya, another god. Then the sun, depending on the sun's situation, they had three suns. One is Ushas, early morning sun, dawn sun, Ushas. Then normal sun, Surya. I think you know this word a little bit. Yeah, Surya. Then evening sun, Savitru, right? Like sunlight time sun is called Savitru. So there are three gods over there. They have names. Luckily they didn't find out snow, otherwise they would have called snow god, But they didn't find it actually, They had no snow at that time, in India. So that means they believe that if you do wrong to the environment will do something wrong to you. So they said environment is a god. So they worship the sun, they worship the moon, they worship the rain, right? So in theory, when there is a collapse with regard to environment, that is also a collapse with regard to our karma. Okay? So I want to tell you in this slide that we all are conditioned. Environment and us, we all are differently conditioned. Connected and conditioned. Now, what is the Buddhist concept of dependent origination? Paticca Samuppada. What is this actually? This is the main theory in Buddhism where Buddha says everything is connected to each other. In 60s and 70s, there was a monk who started a new Buddhism. What was his name?
What the Buddhism is?
Yes.
What Buddhism?
Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh,
Oh.
the Vietnamese monk.
Yeah.
So what happened was that when he wanted to come back from the US after teaching at Columbia University, the Vietnamese government refused his entry to Vietnam. So he went to France. He started a temple there, Plum Village.
Plum Village, yes.
Right? And not even he started a temple, he started a new Buddhism. It is called, what is it called? Engaged Buddhism.
Yeah.
Now the problem is the traditional Buddhism not engaged enough? Do monks not help other people? They also engage.
Yes,
But they said they are not adequately engaged with the people. So he said there are 14 principles I suggest, and then the bigger concept of my Buddhism is interbeing. Interbeing. You can search on internet. Interbeing means everything, everybody is interconnected, interconditioned. So interbeing. So here he took that idea from Paticcasamuppada. So we all are conditioned, right? Everything arises through conditions. Pali word is paccaya. Now the problem is when we are over consuming, we are exploiting, and destruction will happen. Can we think about one example? What is one area where people are over consuming things?
Chicken.
May I know? Huh? Meat industry, yeah?
Meat industry.
Meat industry. So the what do you call, merchants are going to kill so many chicken, right? But will happen is that maybe they kind of feel that there's a demand for it, but we will see that is an over consumption. And now we feel it. Nowadays children are grown very fast. Huh? We think about what kind of things are they eating nowadays. Huh?
Too much
Maybe hormone, what do you call, added certain meat.
Yeah.
Normally in the past, long time ago, it takes time for them to grow. Right? What if that when you become 20, you become a very big, like a monster type of person? You know? I mean, what will happen to you? Right? I think maybe the person might carry some diseases too, right? Because of the meeting the demand by the industry, they do it. So there are so many other examples in any other industry. Think about producing cars, right? Nowadays, although we have this electric car idea, right? There are so many cars. If you live in a country where there is a lot of traffic, you see in a very busy traffic highway, one family is going to one party with 15 cars. Think about it. Only one person is inside one car.
No carpool.
Right? There is no carpooling. So who gave you the road for 15 cars? Right? Because nowadays you can afford buying cars at a cheaper price too. Right? Not like earlier. So that's the thing. So overconsumption is going to overexploitation, and then moral destruction, road accidents, frustration, road rage, right? A lot of things are happening because of, I think we have to think about a lot of areas in our life to properly handle these environmental issues. Not even food, automobiles, electric gadgets, electronics, and so many other things. So if you ignore this interdependence leads to suffering, then that could be a problem, right? We have to always understand overconsumption, exploitation, destruction, they all are interconnected. So finally, when you care for the Mother Earth, what is happening to you is that you are understanding this conditionality. Cause, condition, effect, condition, cause, right? This theory. So I think when we know about this Dhamma teaching, Paticcasamuppada with regard to environmental crisis and the solution, we can better respond to this. Karma and environmental responsibility. You know what is karma? May I know what is karma? I hope you will give me very surprising answers. Huh? So I would like to know what.
Action.
No, that is what I gave. I mean, I'm asking, what is karma to you?
cause and effect.
Cause and effect, yeah.
Cause and effect? That is Paticamuppada.
Do good, get
May I ask from the back? I think that gentleman is very eagerly looking at the slide. So, what is karma? Karma to you?
What is karma?
No idea? How long you been a Buddhist now? I mean, that's the question, right? Because if we don't know karma, we cannot be a Buddhist, because karma is a very basic and fundamental understanding. Karma means
Your
volition. That's also a little bit challenging word. Huh? I could say volition means intentional activity. That is karma. So do we make karma a lot every day?
Yes,
every day.
So do we also make karmaless activities too?
Yes.
we should.
Breathing.
Breathing. Breathing is karmaless, automatic. Now when you come from the car into this house, were you concerned that you are stepping onto any small ant or tiny bacteria on the floor? Were you concerned?
No.
Not aware.
Not aware, who knows? We never know, right? We cannot see because through our naked eye, there's a certain limit that we can see things, right?
They're too small that we ignore them, right?
We're not to say.
Let me tell you, we Buddhists are very practical. The Buddha asks us to be practical. So if we know that there's an ant, it's not good to step onto the ant. We have to give some space to the ant, right?
Yes.
So but let's say you are driving your car on road, how many animals might be run over by? I mean, not the visible animals, invisible animals. We don't know, right? That's why I'm saying there are a lot of activities that go not as karma. We call them as karmaless actions. But don't take it for granted. You run over somebody, I didn't know, you were there.
But there is a case that when I'm driving, then there are, I don't know, there's a monkey, because we have a lot of monkey down the roads. Sometimes they just rush.
Yeah. What to do? You can't
What
stop.
to do? I can't just simply.
Because if you stop, the behind car will crash onto you, right?
Back accident.
Normally it says in the driving manuals in a lot of countries, just because you want to save an animal, all of a sudden, you don't jeopardize other drivers.
Yeah.
You have a very, what do you call, ABS kind of brake
Yes.
on the highway with a screech, and then all the other drivers are crashing onto you. There may be more casualties behind you. Yes. So we have to make wise decisions in a challenging time. You can say, oh, I'm a Buddhist, I cannot run over, you have no choice,
Sorry,
Sometimes,
to the speed that we have no any
yes.
lenient for us to make any break anymore.
But nowadays, there are certain things we can do. Now, one thing is that there are certain gadgets that you can install in a car. When you think that you are driving through that kind of road, there is a certain siren. We don't hear it, but they hear it.
The frequency.
Ultrasonic.
Yes.
You mean the car can?
You can install it. You don't hear it. You just press it maybe during that time, but they can hear it. It's very sensitive for them.
No,
So the animal
So
will
we-
run away.
Yeah.
Or the animal will run away.
They will not even be on the side.
I thought that-
is actually using it.
I thought our car will send it and then our car will stop.
No.
We used to chase this frequency. Papa used to chase the street dogs and all
Yes.
these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I
No, actually you can download in your apps as well to chase away the mosquito. Yeah, there's an app. There's a mosquito.
anyway, so these are gadgets that I know that can be installed into the car
I thought
to
the car
chase
will
away the deers in Canada.
A deer.
If the deer can go away, monkey can go away definitely. Because
how about
A lot of
kangaroo?
deers in
Huh?
Canada.
yes, they run. Okay.
Kangaroo in Australia, how?
Oh, you
Are they
bang
running
them.
away?
You bang them.
Yeah, you got a kangaroo bar over there. Because if you go in the high speed in the long.
Okay, so that means we can do certain things. That's what we understand now. You cannot simply run over them, So we can do. You can install certain defensive things into your car if you think there are problems on the road. So karma is intention, volition. But sometimes, even though we are so careful, certain things can happen. But it is not in the best interest of you, because there are certain things we cannot avoid.
Yeah.
We understand, but we try our level best to minimize.
And then, Bhante, is that if let's say the monkey accidentally crashed by us, right? So it's their karma.
No, don't try to find out whose karma is there.
Yeah, it's your karma. I
Yes.
have no intention to run.
So
but
just-
in the wrong time
just-
you just ran.
Yeah,
through
just be
the-
pity on the monkey,
It's your
because
karma.
you are happily driving, but monkey is gone, right? So it's better to pity on the situation, right?
Yeah, it's pity.
Yeah,
No, it's
Yeah.
not you.
yeah. We don't have to interpret what happened,
Yes, sir.
because there's no time for interpretation. If you could interpret, you would have saved the monkey, right? It happened.
No,
So
that will be after that.
yeah, I mean, I tried my level best, but it happens.
Actually, it's blessing in disguise for the animal.
We cannot say like that, but
No, because the animal has to be killed accidentally, so maybe they can be born in a better.
well, I mean, that's why I'm saying it's
That is
not.
too complicated.
Yeah. We should not go to that level,
I know, I
because
understand.
because
Okay.
don't try to interpret what happened.
Yeah.
You do your role.
Yeah.
That's enough.
We
And
can
rest is
indicate our own karma.
rest is cosmic law.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes. Okay. So not even our personal karma, we also engage in collective karma. Collective actions create collective results. Actually, this is very much related to environmental protection or crisis. Now think about some of the projects. What do you call?
The recent one is the flood in Hat Yai.
Yeah, flood.
But they know about the flood in Hat Yai.
Yeah, yes,
It's
yes.
quite serious.
Yes, not even Hajai, but also in the Philippines. So the thing is that, in the Philippines there is a problem. Like when the government allocated money for flood control, even
Right.
they took that money too. I mean, there's a big conversation going on. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to environmental protection or crisis, while our personal actions are mattering, most of the visible actions are mattering from the collective efforts. Okay, so what kind of collective things we do? Think about somebody drop garbage outside this gate, right? And you see it, you are so concerned about it. You sort out garbage, recycle, and then what you call disposable. What else? So and so forth. But then when many people do it, you might be tempted to do, why should I do it? Right? So that means when we do something collectively, that can really help environment to be protected. So it can be a social thing, it can be a government thing. So when we discuss about environmental responsibility, it not only comes from personal responsibility, but also it comes from collective efforts. Environmental damage reflects collective unwholesome choices, right? Now think about certain projects some people have done where they got ended up in different ways. We see what must have gone through those projects, right, in certain countries, right? So careful, mindful living produces wholesome collective karma. We will discuss some of them later on. Because I have a couple of slides, so I will keep going. One of the very important concepts in Buddhism is avihimsa. What's the meaning of avihimsa? Non-harming. The sutra is Majjhima Nikaya MN 141 Satchavibhanga Sutta. Have you heard about another word, ahimsa?
Yes.
What is that?
Angulimala previous name.
Angulimala's previous name.
Yeah, meaning that no harming.
Yeah, ahimsa was a very popular term because it was made popular by Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi philosophy. I mean, it was so popular in the last maybe century because of Gandhi's efforts to talk about it, but he has a different perspective. But we know Buddha talk about it. Even before the Buddha, Mahavira, Jain, talk about it. That's not a religion. So when it comes to protecting environment, whatever the things in the environment, we have to look at a bigger concept from Buddhism to do it. The bigger concept from Buddhism that we can use for protecting the environment is avihimsa, non-harming. We are not supposed to not harm not even humans and animals, but also environment. Now think about, we go to a beach here, right? How clean is that? You look at each other. Are there any bottles? Are there any stuff discarded? Who did that? Is there any ongoing monitoring about these beaches? Right? So that is one very interesting concept. Right? So I think it's a problem everywhere in the world. Right? So that means when it comes to our disposing certain things, we might not be very much concerned about it, right? And we are supposed to think about harm to living beings, including animals, forests, rivers, ecosystems, including other human beings. At the same time, environmental destruction is indirect violence. Direct violence versus indirect violence. How can it become an indirect violence? Any thoughts about it? There are so many ways to look at it, right? Now think about there is someone who is sending all the contaminated water into a lake, right? And then what will happen to the fish and all those animals in those aquatic places, right? Nobody knows. But if we carefully look at it, that's such an indirect violence. Killing their habitats and all that. So then we need to understand that human compassion that we know, it should go beyond both humans and animals. Nowadays, if you look at the human activities, they might perhaps say that we have to take care of other humans or animals. But Buddhism says not even animals and humans be protected, but also this ecosystem, this environment must be protected, right? Now think about, there are a lot of companies emitting a lot of gas, right? And then what will happen to our clean breath, right? Lots of gas emitting from different factories, massive factories, right? And what will happen?
Air pollution.
Right? Air pollution. So that means not even polluting the humans and animals, but also polluting the environment is also one of the biggest problems, and we need compassion for the Mother Earth, environment for that. All these coming from ahimsa concept, non-harming. What could be the reason why people might be doing this thing? Craving could be the problem. Craving fuels environmental damage. How do you describe craving in your life? May I know?
It means you wanted more.
You want more. Can you give a very specific example? Let's say you are eating some food, you want more. What is the problem with regard to that?
Durian.
You eat durian?
Ice cream.
So durian will.
Yes. So wanting more.
Beer.
Okay. Yeah. But how do we understand that? There is a businessman who has one house, wants to buy another house because he can afford it. Right? But somebody who has no house might think, why two houses now? I have no house at all. Right? But for the businessman, it might be an investment. Right? Maybe he buy third house. He might use it for something else. So then this simplicity, craving, they all are individualistic. And we have to understand each situation differently. You cannot say, why you have 3 houses? Why you need a house? You become a backpacker, I mean, go from one place to another place, right? Why you need housing, right? You can rent a place. So that's why we have to be very careful not to specify people differently, rather than understanding their different conditions. Now here, craving means incessant incessant desires, obsessive desires, compulsive desires. Now think about a chocolate eating habit, right? I think we all like chocolates, right? If anybody doesn't like, means maybe come to a certain age you can't eat any more chocolates because of sugar problem, but still you like to eat chocolate. But so then the idea is that you can eat a chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Okay. So the problem is not eating the chocolate, but the problem is if you become a chocoholic person. Chocoholic.
Chocolate.
Chocoholic.
Eat a chocolate but don't become chocoholic. That is the problem. Learn Dhamma but don't become Dhammaholic. Right? There's so too much concern about everything. I cannot stand, I have to be mindful, very, very careful, all the time. Right? Just take things easy. Don't be very serious. When you become serious, suffering comes to you. Dukkha comes to you. Right? So, what is tanha then? Tanha means obsessions, addictions. It's not about eating a chocolate. It's about you are obsessed with the chocolate. You are addicted to chocolate. Right? Never addict to anything, even to Dhamma. Never addict to anybody, anything. Then you will find happiness. So the Buddha says, even this environmental problem has roots to craving. Countries, people, right? Now think about somebody who is trying to own a certain area in a very important natural resource in a country, and then they get things done behind the scene, passing all the things from the government and wherever, and then want to make a nice resort over there, but by the law you can't make it over there. Maybe there is a different setback onto making that place, right? There are so many examples like that. Think about you are making a lot of buildings nearby a place where there will be a flood that can happen, right? A tsunami prone area, right? But you want more money, you can own it. So these could be certain craving based plans, right? But there is no problem with regard to investment in Buddhism. You can invest, you can do certain things, but the problem is when it brings destruction to you and to other people. So craving is the problem here. Buddhism encourages simplicity, Pali word sallahuka buddhi, contentment, santutti, moderation, I didn't put that word, called mattanyuta. These are the very branded terms in Buddhist life. You can practice as a layperson. What is simplicity? May I know what is simplicity? Let's say you have children, right? They are studying, they are not yet studying in the universities, right? They are still with you. So do you need still a big house? You need, right? I mean, there are children. But what if when they go to university, they move to another state, another country, do you still need that very big house? Then what would you do?
Move to a smaller location.
No, some people cannot do that. They want to say, I have a big house,
How do you need?
right? They want to say that, I have a big house. But those people know how difficult it is to clean that big house, right? When you have a big house, 2-3 story. But anyway, when you think you don't need that big house, you are having a plan, you are maybe renting or doing something else, and then you are looking for simplicity, right? But if you have another plan, you keep it for them, for children. But you are making proper decisions as time comes by, right? I remember there was a personal incident that I went through in Canada. I went to a house of a certain family. Actually now only the couple living there. And the person introduced to me, Bhante, this TV, smart TV. Now I already disconnected the cable TV. Now there is no National Geographic, anything. So look at, I am very simple person there, right? Then I was looking for a moment to talk about it, if he wants to talk about it. Yeah? Because it's disconnecting the key. I mean, if you cannot afford it, you disconnect it. But just disconnecting channels from your TV, the reflection of simplicity, right? So simplicity is something more than that kind of cost cutting. If you need it, you have to keep it, right? So simplicity is a very individualistic thing. There are different people who are spending simple life. Contentment, santutti. Is it very difficult for us to be content in our life? Contentment is very difficult. Satisfaction is little easier.
Yeah.
That's why when you go to a restaurant, they say satisfaction guaranteed. They never say contentment guaranteed. You never say that. Right? You see, any place is satisfaction guaranteed.
Yes.
Then you will comment very badly also after eating. You never feel good food sometime. You comment on them to improve their food. So satisfaction is a minor level of happiness. Contentment is a long-lasting happiness. So contentment will come to us if we change our attitudes with regard to reality. And moderation. What is moderation?
Average.
That's also a very relative thing. Are you trying to be moderate in your life with regard to your habits? How do you define your moderation?
Not too much,
Huh?
not too much.
Think about spending habits. I think we come down to that in a while. Spending habits. So there are two spending habits: overspending, underspending. What are the examples for them? Overspending, spending more than your income. Overspending, right? Like someone who got the first credit card. When the person got the first credit card, think this is my money. They spend, it's bank's money, right? And after a while, you can't pay back. The bank is also very smart. Bank says, don't worry, just pay the minimum. Yes, and you never know. After a couple of months, it's a huge amount of bill. You can't pay it. Your credit score goes down. Anyway, overspending means spending over your income. Underspending? Give me an example. Yeah, you can think about it, being little, but give me an example about it. Think about an annual checkup, medical checkup, right? If you're over 40 or 30, I mean, let's say annual medical checkup, you think, I'm not sick, why to go see a doctor, right? But we never know what's happening inside the body, right? We don't know. Outside is very good. When something happens, it's too late, right? So that kind of spending money for a medical checkup is not underspending. If you don't do that, that is underspending. Think about learning a certain talent. Nowadays you learn a lot of things on Google, LinkedIn, some of the courses, Dhamma courses, right? You said Dhamma course, learning. This learning, all these are investment in your life, right? If you don't do that, underspending. So the Buddha said, overspending, underspending are financial mistakes in the Vyagapadya Sutta. So I'm telling you then, what is the moderation? Moderation means you know where to spend, where not to spend. So that means in order for us to have a better idea with regard to environment, we can have simplicity, contentment and moderation. Those are very essential concept qualities for us to become very aware about environment, so we can do better for the environment. So then this will finally come down to less craving and less exploitation and more protection and more awareness that we can do. Now this is about, right living is about how to live a life. As lay people, you have a job, you have to make money, right? What is the Buddhist teaching with regard to earning money? What did the Buddha say? Earn money in ethical ways.
Right.
Not moderation ways. You can't make a moderation for the money. It's very impractical, right? If you can make more money, you make more money. But the thing is that don't cling to that money. The Buddhists can make any money. Ethical money. There is no bracket window for the money, right? But the problem is, let's say there is someone who is making $10 per month. It's not happening. Huh? The problem is, if that person creates clinging craving to that $10, if someone makes 100,000 per month and making no craving to that 100,000, that is Buddhism. I want to tell you another example. There was a Buddhist monk passed away during the Buddhist time in the temple. Other monks were bringing his body to cremate. Huh? Buddha said, don't cremate his body. They said, why? Because he's dead already. No, he really liked his robe.
Oh, yeah.
Now in a moment of time, he will come to the robe as a moth. If you cremate, moth will be dead as well. You are cremating 2 of his life. Don't do it. That means to have the craving, you don't need money. Even the robe also enough. It's not about money. It's about how you look at money. Yes, craving. Nowadays we see why we earn a lot of money. Right? I think there is no answer for that. You know why? The thing is that how to earn the money. Ethical money. That's why the Buddha said, living should not cause harm. Because when it comes to this subject, people making a lot of environmental damage. Environmentally destructive industries contradict right living. What are those industries? Just tell the industry name only, don't name about a particular industry name. What are these industries? Environmentally destructive industries.
Consumptions.
What are those industries that could contradict right living?
Selling weapons.
Selling weapons, selling drugs, right? Selling poison, and then what else?
Selling humans.
Human trafficking, exploiting labor, right? Because of different things. Right? All these are contradicting right living. I remember there was a Buddhist couple in Las Vegas, Nevada, Vietnamese couple who built their new casino and asking monks to come and bless the casino.
Oh.
You know, so the Buddhist monks went there to bless the casino.
I see.
That's why. So sometimes you have some challenges to, how to go through. You need the devotees for the temple, but how to practice your Buddhist path, right? So it's a dilemma for them. I'm not saying this is better than the other thing, but I'm trying to show you the path that they go through, right? So ethical work supports sustain. If you are lucky, if you are a very lucky person in your life, you can survive with your ethical work. At the end of the day, you have no worries, no remorse, no regret. I am happy with my money. If I want to make more money, I can find a part-time job. I always have opportunities to do it, but now I'm okay at the moment. So mindful consumption is part of this Dhamma practice that will help environmental protection. Let us see some of the issues here. Right mindfulness in daily consumption. Now these are mattering with regard to our online on-site shopping culture that have a certain bearing with regard to environmental damage. What we buy, use, waste matters to environmental protection or crisis. Buying fast fashion, I take one example. Buying fast fashion leads to excessive water use and labor exploitation. Example, think about a fast fashion cotton fabric. It has to be dyed faster. It needs a lot of water, right, to be dyed, right? Look for brands that use eco-friendly materials, organic cotton, linen, hemp, recycled fabrics. Reduce water and chemical use. Design clothes to last longer. This could be a little challenging for all of us. But the thing is, if we want to be really conscious about our environment, we have to go to certain things like this. In the long term, you might be not able to do it right now. What you know is that you bring your credit card and go to the shopping mall, buy the branded clothes. You never care about what is it made of. But these things are mattering. What about 1 million, 2 million people do the same thing? This or the opposite, it can matter. Choosing durable or repairable items reduces landfill waste. You know, in Canada, when you buy a TV, they charge you a recycling fee too. When do I recycle my TV? You know, TV lasts for almost 6-7 years. Fridge lasts for 10 years. They know one day you are going to throw it out. So they charge you the recycle fee earlier. So then you have to recycle, right? You paid for it.
Yeah. So you give it to them again?
No, you have to pay for the shop. When you buy, it is included, as I say, recycling fee. I mean, this is one example. I mean, that may not be the ideal thing. I'm telling you how they are doing it. Now the thing is, think about the durable, repairable items. Example, using a stainless steel water bottle instead of disposable plastic bottles. I think we do this all the time. Prevents hundreds of bottles from ending up in land. When we go to the beach, how many plastic bottles can be seen in the beach? If you go to any resort, any hotel.
Zero in holiday.
I mean, think about it. Okay? If we really care about the beach and the sea, what is wrong with us, right? Repairing a broken chair or table instead of discarding it saves wood and materials, right? So we are looking at different avenues to protect landfill waste. I mean, this is a Buddhist way to look at it. Small choices create big impact. Carrying a reusable bottle, as I said earlier, reduces thousands of plastic bottles over a lifetime, right? Nowadays, when you go to a shopping mall, a very branded grocery shop, they are charging us, right, for the bag. There is no plastic bag too. What if they are doing this for the plastic bottles? What could be the change? I know there are practical issues. There may be some practical issues. We have to overcome them too. But as a whole, all people are trying to do it, then there will be no plastic bottles. And even some animals are eating plastic bags nowadays.
No choice.
And they cannot even then do their natural process after that. Okay? Eating one plant-based meal a day lowers carbon footprint significantly. Now we know when we fly, there is a carbon, waste, is mentioned in the airlines, right? Yeah. Turning off unused lights saves energy and reduces emissions, right? Using public transport or carpooling reduces fuel use and air pollution. But this is relatively challenge depending on the place. I don't know Langkawi's transportation, right? Some places still need a car, still need cars. But if you can, that's a very good thing. Actually, carpooling could be the better way, carpooling or developing public transit, right? Buying only the food you will eat prevents unnecessary food waste. Some people go to the shop, they buy everything, they think maybe day after tomorrow I will eat this. But in the end, you are not eating that, right? Switching off appliances at the socket reduces hidden electricity use. Those tiny little, light that we see in many gadgets, they also consume certain, electricity. So then what is the responsibility that we have as you lay people and monastics? They have to be change agents or advocates. Monastics model restraint and simplicity. Lay people, ethical consumption and activism. Especially Buddhist temples, traditional Buddhist temples should come up with eco-conscious plans. I think we discussed that today morning as well during our breakfast. Temples should be centers of environmental awareness, not always telling how to go to the heaven, how to go to the enlightenment. They have to go beyond that thing. That's why we don't have that many young people in temples, because we all are talking to the next life. We're talking to the temple culture. Yes, we have to talk about it. But on the other hand, why are you not talking about this life? We have not yet gone there, right? We are here now. Right now we are here. So then we have to talk about what to do right now. So I think these temples, Buddhist centers have to look at this environmental awareness through their programs. Maybe Decradle can do a program about environmental awareness given by the Buddha, right? So then you can become a better gladian, you know. I mean, right? You can gladden the mind. Okay, so we are almost in the last 5-6 slides, and I will leave you for any questions. Nature as a support for practice. If you read Buddhist texts, you see how arahants, how monks, how nuns enjoy nature. You know, in one place, one monk, arahant monk, was watching the rain and the water, sound of the water. So he was saying, Devocha vasati, Devocha galagalayati. Devo means? What does Devo mean?
Devo.
No, rain. Another meaning is rain. Rain rains, rain flows with the sound called gala 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 sound. Arahants are enjoying nature better than us. For us, lake is take a snapshot, go back, upload to the social media. But for them, they enjoy. They enjoy through that moment. They don't snapshot it, right? They enjoy that moment, right? Think about 100 people are recording someone is drowning in the water. Nobody goes and rescue that person, right? It can happen in today's world. Maybe to get some views on certain social media platforms, right? So that means Buddha asks us to enjoy the nature. When you enjoy the nature, you can reduce your akusala a lot. You know, there was one Buddhist nun, I think her name was Patachara, who lost her husband, children, parents, everybody. You know how she attained Nibbana?
Yes.
She was watching a mini waterfall.
Oh.
A mini waterfall. She was watching it. She saw the water from a higher place flows into a lower place. It has a certain cascadence, and then again from higher place to the lower place. That water that was in the top place is not the water that is coming down, right? It's like, who is thinking that when you are looking at the river, ocean, is that the same water that is going here? No, it's different, right? And she saw the impermanence when the water comes from the top to the bottom, and she became enlightened. How many times we seeing lakes, water, anything? Have we become any enlightenment stage? Why is it? Our impermanence is not mature enough. It's not mature. We have it, but not yet improved enough. So that's why Buddha is saying nature can be used to even become enlightened. Not even to become calm. A lot of people go to beach to feel calm, to relax. No, we are going beyond that. That means you feel clarity in your life. You can manage your negative mental states. Right? So when you destroy the nature, it weakens in a cultivation as a matter of that. So overall, what we need to know is we have to have a compassion beyond species, right? It has to go beyond animals, humans. It has to go to all living beings and nature, right? This is very interesting. Now, when we have this problem across the globe, people can fall into two categories when they interpret environmental issues, problems, climate issue and everything. What are they? Exploitative materialism or fanatical eco-anxiety. What are they? Buddhism avoids exploitative materialism. What is it? I think this is the same thing that we know from larger, bigger companies and people. They are materializing all the animal habitats, nature habitats, which is what is seen. Then the other side that we don't see that much is fanatical eco-anxiety. What does it mean? Obsessively worrying about climate change to the point of anxiety, burnout, or blaming others. Oh, will environment be collapse tomorrow? Will all the oceans do something? Go through certain issues. Right? If you are too much anxious about environment, you will get into a certain extreme idea about this subject called fanatical eco-anxiety. We don't have to have that. Then what does the Buddha say about picking up this subject? Use middle path, noble eightfold path. Let us be responsible for the use consumption. Let's be calm, let's do wise action, let's do the sustainable living, which has a long-term benefit, good benefits for all of us. What are the practical Buddhist things we can do with regard to protecting environment? Reduce waste and overconsumption. I think we can make personal choices for this. Maybe we can ask this question, this as a question later on. So you will tell me, what do you do to reduce waste and overconsumption in your life? Support ethical products, cruelty-free or environmental responsible practices. Have you ever checked when you buy a beauty product whether it was tested on animals or not? Have you? Yeah. Or you only looked at paraben-free and all that free only? Yeah?
Certain company they advertise it widely, like for example, Body Shop. They say it's not animal tested.
That is one thing. But still we know in the big pharma industry and the laboratory research, still certain animals are being used. But nowadays they are using dead animals compared to long time ago, where scientists cut the living animals, right? So cruelty-free, environmentally responsible practices, right? Protect local environments. Educate others with kindness, not blame. A good leader, a good educator about this subject never blame others. What will he or she do? He or she will do what he or she can do. Yes, but people who don't know what to do, they blame everybody. You are the cause of this problem. You are the cause of this problem. Buddhists don't look for culprits. Buddhists become change agents, Dhamma advocates to change this. So then other people will be motivated. Not that, okay, that company is the reason behind this big issue. What you have done to change that thing, right? We have to take responsibility in our ways. Huh? This is a very interesting question. You know, minimalism, another word for too much simple life. Minimalism. Can greed arise in extreme minimalism? When you are too minimalist, can you come up with lobha, greed? Yes. How? Identity greed. I am more pure, spiritual because I own less. If you keep thinking this, you will come to a certain greed about that mentality. Moral superiority. Looking down on others as materialistic. You are always saying, you know, you have a lot of things, you know, I am very simple person. Attachment to simplicity, clinging to minimalism as an identity. The person is trying to identify others in the same way. That's why moderation is very important. Huh? Control greed, using minimalism to dominate choices of family or community. Do people do that? Huh? Do people do it? Think about someone who is very minimalist with regard to choices in the family. Can that person manipulate other members in the family? It could be, right? It could be.
Influence.
Can influence. And spiritual bypassing, avoiding responsibilities under the label of simple living. Why should I do it? I am already simple living, right? So we have to be very careful when we practice minimalism, not to come to a certain extreme level of it. But minimalism is a good concept, but not to go to any extremism. Conclusion. Finally, what we need here in this topic to protect, care for the environment is we need to care for the Mother Nature, Earth, because it's similar to caring for life. If we don't have good oxygen, if we don't have a good vegetation, if we don't have a good environment, what will happen to us, especially our future generations? Protecting nature is protecting future suffering. Whose suffering is that? Not our suffering. We will die within next 50 years, right? Most of us. But our future generations, how will they live? Right? Luckily, our ancestors didn't have this much technology by that time. Right? If they had it, you know, where would have we ended up now? Right? But that time, they didn't have a lot of material stuff, mechanical stuff, but nowadays everything has been digitized, right? I mean, we are not blaming, we are understanding. Wisdom, compassion, restraint are our tools to protect this. And a mindful and compassionate life creates a sustainable world. So let us be mindful about this concept. At the same time, let us be compassionate towards us, other humans, animals, and the whole nature. So this is the idea. Now we can go to having a Q&A for any questions you got. All right. What questions you got about this subject? So we have a mic here. I can give the mic when you ask the question.
Okay, I will start.
Yeah, we'll start first. Take it closer and ask the question.
Good evening, Bhante. Thank you for the enlightening sharing on the caring for the Mother Earth. So just now, Bhante, you mentioned about Buddhism tackle the root cause. So when there is, let's say, like people they like to eat chicken. Just now, somebody mentioned chicken consumption is a very high demand, and very obviously chicken's consumption high in demand, and productions in a huge amount can cause a big damage to the environment. So how are we going to take care the root cause to reduce?
I think the answer is very simple over there. We have to follow.
Don't eat chicken.
Yeah, we have to follow the nutritionist idea over here. That means eating chicken every day is giving us a high protein intake, food intake. I think high protein is not good for us too. And on the other hand, if you keep eating that kind of a meat, that also creates a craving to eat them every day for every meal, right? So I think we have to make a personal plan that maybe I have to limit that intake. Maybe I will use other plant-based sources of protein too. This is one other idea. So what you can do is that limit your reduce your craving for that frequency of eating or that. That's what you can do. So then you will manage it. Because the thing is that now that kind of a meat is highly available everywhere, right? You can buy it. Yes. So just because you can buy it, should you buy it? So you decide about it. So you think that you are not tempted just because you can buy, and you buy only whenever you want, right? So then that is the Buddhist way to look at it, the deep-seated thing.
So in that meaning that is education?
No, I think one has to plan one's craving at that point.
So the craving is the root cause.
Craving is the deep-seated root cause in that problem.
So tackle craving. This is by
reduce the craving. Otherwise, you become chickenholic. You know, I mean, this can happen, right? Yeah, I mean, we have to make a word for that, right?
To diet, I think it's the balanced diet.
Balanced diet. Balanced diet from the nutritionist perspective. Reduce. You are even checking whether this balanced diet creates any craving, right? So you are going to Buddhism to check even the balanced diet. Actually, balanced diet doesn't have a lot of craving, because unless you have a craving for balanced diet, you know, other than that, you are good in that. Yeah. Who else?
So anything?
Yes, they have questions. Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante, for the sharing. I do feel that in the current situation, there's one more important element that we may have been committing to it, which is actually the use of artificial intelligence. Recently, I read about the use of AI and server. The server in AI in US, like OpenAI, they use gallons of water to cool down the server when the AI machine was running. So every conversation that we use with Gemini, even with Open ChatGPT, they're actually consuming a lot of water.
Which we discuss here.
Yeah, I just realized about that. So I feel like, okay, so we need to have a moderation in use of AI in our daily work, so that we don't create more environmental pollution and overuse of water in the server centers, data centers as well.
Definitely. Now, I think they can think about renewable energy.
Yeah.
Now, think about using hydraulic sources for generating power versus wind-based power, solar power, right? I think they can. I think their next trend could be, next level could be to go from using water to preserve their what you call panels and all that into a renewable energy.
Yes. Hopefully.
Then I think they would be more environmental friendly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also
because the other thing is that people look for the easy energy, right? Water is easy, right?
Yes.
In many countries, right? But the problem is if the whole world is going to depend on AI, then they need more panels, which needs lots of water actually.
Yes.
High amount of water.
Yes. And also
base things.
Yeah. I think about the vegetarianism I've got to share, actually I converted into vegetarianism about 4 years ago. So yeah, from full meat eating person, I mean a person who like to eat meat and to become a vegetarian person is not an easy task. But I think what I'm trying to observe is actually some moderations in terms of what we eat.
Yes.
It's like we don't really crave to eat, then you feel better much.
Yeah, you should have a balanced diet.
Yes.
That's the good thing. Never become extreme.
Yeah, correct.
Never become an extreme in anything, dieting, but have compassion for animals. At the same time, always think that Buddha teaches us a very balanced philosophy. It's a very balanced, not an extreme philosophy. Yeah.
But it's not an easy task.
Well, that is what we are practicing, right? If it is very easy, then we don't have to practice, right? Yes.
Bhante, my question is more to related to Langkawi. For example, we know that do the right thing, the no killing, all these kind of things, yeah. But street dog is an issue in Langkawi, right? So and then because sometimes they become violence, right? They bite and then there's some injuries, all these things, yeah. So I told my security manager, for example, I said to so many dogs, make sure that you chase them away. Then he looked at me. I think the quickest way is to get rid of them. I said I don't want to know. To be honest, that's not the right thing to do. But it became an issue in Langkawi, and then the government is not helping. It's not helping. So the NGO is trying to do something, but the dogs produce so faster than we can actually do something about it. Yeah. So that's why you talk about sustainability. You talk about the animals, all these kind of things. You do practice the Buddhist way. Then you know that doing the practice, the Buddhist way, the Dhamma way is, like you say, loving kindness. But it became an issue in Langkawi.
Yeah.
So
my suggestion for that is, I think it is not a problem only in this place. I have seen it fairly in some other places too, not in very much thickly populated areas. I think animal rights organizations and any organization who is very conscious about, who's supposed to be conscious about this thing, they should come up with a better plan for this. Not even street dogs, maybe street cats, right? Because they can think about certain methodologies which other countries practice too. Now we know in some other countries with regard to cats, and we cannot feed them actually. When the neighbor cat comes to our house, we cannot feed them. Why? If it is in Canada, let's say cat comes to our house, cat doesn't know where he goes, right? Comes, and then out of compassion we give some food, right? Then cat remembers that we fed him, right? So even during the harsh winter, he or she tried to come to our house, and on the way got stuck to snow and died. Right? So they are not encouraging us to feed those things. So they have a particular number around their neck. So animals have to be properly monitored, then only we can get rid of this issue. Of course, killing is not the way. We should have that compassion. There should be a way at least to end this issue as of now. Maybe to make a dog sanctuary, at least to stop it. Now think about if this kind of a stray dog is going to bite a foreigner in the beach, right? The dog thinks beach is his area, right? So then that will create some other issues too.
There is a group of people is doing this. Ben, yesterday he was here.
Yeah.
He's actually with the group called Four Paws, which they're doing this thing now. That you have to tell them because they cannot cover every day. So you have to tell them where is the location.
They will come and
then they will come and catch them and nutrient them and release them again. They will release them because the sanctuary is already full.
Oh, that's the thing, right?
So we also help once in a while.
Yeah, that is one idea. But I think in order to really take on this issue, it's better to have a concrete plan. Concrete plan is you bring and vaccinate and again release into the society.
Yeah, that's
right?
what they do.
That's what they do as of now. But the problem is even worse, according to how she explained to us here.
Because most of the area they're already neutered. So if that area is not, then somebody have to report. Because my place where I stay, I also reported. But until today, we still cannot catch the dog because they are very, they don't trust us.
Anyways, there is something going on, but I think those responsible organizations have to come up with a plan. On the other hand, dogs are also going through problem here. When they are going here and there, they have food and there are other issues for them too, right? So I think other harassment to others too, both sides. I think animal organizations or any government agency has to come up with a plan to sustainably address this issue. At least to stop it from a certain point onwards. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
We can have one more question and we will be done at this point. Anybody over there? How about you? Yes, yes. You may have a question about the environment. Yes, please.
One person,
Yes. You take it closer.
Actually, I don't have a question right now, but the talk, I really think it gives me a new perspective about thinking about the environment. It's not about just from now I'm thinking about like giving the environment back, like trying to take care of it right now is like for our own benefit as well. But also thinking about like how the other animals and plants like perspective from this Buddhist way, I think it gives me a new type of way of thinking about my future actions as well.
Interesting. Yeah. New insights. All right. So if there are no more questions, then we will wrap this up at this point.
But
yes,
in the question I sent.
I don't have my phones. Can you read for me? So I will answer.
Okay,
Please. Please.
I will read out the.
I will give short
questions.
answers.
First, Bhante, please explain how does transfer of merit works. The first question.
Okay, let me answer that question first.
Okay.
Transference of merits depends on where that individual is born right now. That is number one, and also the kind of good karmas you have done to do it, second. And the third thing is that in case the person cannot get it, let's say the person that you are transferring good karma is born as a snake, then the snake cannot get it right now until the snake becomes exempt from the snake life, die. Then those good karmas are going to be deposited for the individual until the person can get those good karmas. So it depends on the place where the dead individual relative is reborn at this point. Okay, and then you need to create a lot of good karma actually, merits for that, and then don't make it a transaction too, right? Just do it very well without lobha, greed, dosa and more.
Is there a way to explain in a scientific way?
scientific way means?
In transferring of merit.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it your question or?
Yeah, this is my question.
Okay.
I would like to know
Okay.
in a scientific way.
Let me tell you what scientific way means. Everything has to be empirical. There are certain things in Buddhism that you cannot make it still empirical in our own way. But this concept, merit transference, happens when you make a wish. You make a wish, may my good karma, like what we do at the end, be transferred to my XYZ people. That wish will become a mental transference to that person. If the person can get it. That is scientific way. Yeah.
Is it a wish?
Wish. Honest wish.
That means that we're emitting some waves, a good wave to the people.
Definitely. Sometimes you know that you want to talk to someone, that person talks to you.
Yeah.
Right? Then how is the connection with regard? You want to talk and then that person talks to you. Right?
So it's which means it's like we.
I think you are sending some positive signals to that person. Also that person.
So it's some kind like a potential energy, but the potential energy is in the wholesome way.
Yeah.
So the energy is.
It's
being
like
created.
It's like encoding and decoding in a voice. You can do the bad thing also. If you swear to someone, ill will, it will also go to that person. Yeah, that's why it's very dangerous. Yeah. Okay, second question.
Yeah. How do I transfer my marriage to my deceased loved ones?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Wish, as a wish, in the form of wish.
How do I protect my marriage? Can I protect my marriage?
Why?
So no one steal it.
This is just a question from my friend. Yeah, can I?
Okay,
protect my
I think what
marriage?
you are meaning here, with regard to protecting, means there are situations like this. You do a big dana today. Suppose you do a dana. You spend money, you buy grocery, you spend money and you do all that. Then after the dana you go back home. Then something happens that you don't like. Maybe you think I could have offered something more. I could have done it better. Then what happened? Your 100% dana merit now goes down to 90%. Just for an example. Because now you are not unhappy about it. Once you are unhappy about a good karma, that good karma percentage goes down. Then now 2-3 hours go by now. By 4 o'clock, you are even becoming unhappier now. Right? It goes down to 80 now. Right? 80 or 70. After a couple of days, if you keep going like that, it will go to 50%, 40%. So at that point, Buddha says this is not a purely meritorious karma, good karma. It's a mixed karma, good karma, bad karma together. So that's why I think what you alluded was that protecting karma. I think doing good karma is better than not doing anything. But after doing it, protecting that good karma is the most challenging thing. When you do a good thing, how many people are worrying about, oh, I took care of you, but now you are not paying me back. So I'm not happy about what I did. So the good things he or she did go down.
I think you should do and forget.
Yeah.
Don't think of it.
Yeah.
You do good things and you don't.
Yeah, you give away the physical things. You give away the physical things, also give away the mental things.
Yeah, I mean, no
Nothing
attachment.
to carry.
No attachment and all.
Yeah. And the nature will carry the good things for you.
Nature.
Is that all?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all, right? Okay. So then with that, just keep it with you. Now we are going to transfer the good karma. So our wish is, may right understanding, mindful living and care for the natural world continue to flourish throughout 2026. May all the good karmas you made today by learning the Buddhist teachings about environmental protection be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away. In the name of all of you, may departed ones be well and happy and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May Deva, Naga, Mahidika receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us who have gathered here with our family members for good health, quality of life, prosperity and happiness. May Deva, Naga, Mahidika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. In the sansaric life, till we attain Nibbana, may we be always surrounded with Kalyana Mittas, noble friends who can guide us, who can show us more kindness, more trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, more generosity, more wisdom, more morality. Only when we are with them, our trust, our generosity, our virtue, our wisdom will go up. If we are associating people who have less saddha, sila, chaga, panya, we also expire from our good thing. So then we need to be surrounded with good Kalyana Mittas. May we become Kalyana Mittas to as many sentient beings as we meet. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas we be making today through this Dhamma discussion be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Blessings. Abhivadana siddhisse niccang vaddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samicchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, for today's Dhamma talks and also sharing and discussions. So let us pray three vows to Bhante. Anjali, Vadana, Anjali, Vandana, Anjali, Vandana.
Our next program will be on Tuesday, right?